I wrote a whole sequence of poems about what rooms in a house mean after I bought my house in Austria. And this poem is, first of all, it's about my study, and it's also an elegy for my friend and colleague, Louis MacNeice. It's called The Cave of Making. For this, and for all enclosures like it, the archetype is Valence steady. An ante more private than a bedroom even, for neither lovers nor maids are welcome, but without a bedroom secrets. From the Olivetti portable, the dictionaries, the very best money can buy, the heaps of paper, it is evident what must go on. Devoid of flowers and family photographs, all is subordinate here to a function, designed to discourage daydreams. Hence windows averted from plausible videnda, but admitting a light one could mend a watch by, and to sharpen hearing. Reached by an outside staircase, domestic noises and odors, the vast background of natural life are shut off. Here silence is turned into objects. I wish, Louis, I could have shown it you while you were still in public, and the house and garden. Lover of women and Donegal, from your perspective you'd notice sights I overlook, and in turn take a scholar's interest in facts I could tell you. For instance, 4 miles to our east at a wood palisade, Carolingian Bavaria stopped. Beyond it, unknowable nomads. Friends we became by personal choice, but fate had already made us neighbors. For grammar we both inherited good mongrel barbarian English, which never completely succumbed to the Roman rhetoric or the Roman gravity, that nonsense which stood none. Though neither of our dads, like Horace's, wiped his nose on his forearm, neither was Porphyry born, and our ancestors probably were among those plentiful subjects it cost less money to murder. Born so, both of us became self-conscious at a moment when locomotives were named after knights in Mallory, science to schoolboys was known as stinks, and the manor still was politically numinous. Both watched with mixed feelings the sack of silence, the churches empty, the cavalry go, the cosmic model become German, and any faith, if we had it, in imminent virtue died. More than ever, life out there is goodly, miraculous, lovable, but we shan't, not since Stalin and Hitler, trust ourselves ever again. We know that, subjectively, all is possible. To you, though, ever since last fall, you quietly slipped out of Granusion, our moist garden, into the country of unconcern. No possibility matters. I wish you hadn't caught that cold, but the dead we miss are easier to talk to. With those no longer tensed by problems, one cannot feel shy. And anyway, when playing cards or drinking or pulling faces are out of the question, what else is there to do but talk to the voices of conscience they have become? From now on, as a visitor who needn't be met at the station, your influence is welcome at any hour in my Uberty, especially here where titles from poems to the burning perch offer proof positive of the maker you wear, with whom I once collaborated, once at a weird symposium, exchanged winks as the juggins went on about alienation. Who would, for preference, be a bard in an oral culture, obliged at drunken feast to improvise a eulogy of some beefy, illiterate burner, giver of rings, or depend for bread on the moods of a baroque prince, expected, like his dwarf, to amuse? After all, it's rather a privilege, amid the affluent traffic, to serve this unpopular art which cannot be turned into background noise for study, or hung as a status trophy by rising executives, cannot be done like Venice or abridged like Tolstoy, but stubbornly still insists upon being read or ignored. Our handful of clients at least can ruin. It's heartless to forget about the underdeveloped countries, but a starving ear is as deaf as a suburban optimist's. To stomachs only the Hindu integers truthfully speak. Our forerunners might envy us, our remnant still able to listen. As Nietzsche said they would, the plebs have got steadily denser, the optimates quicker still on the uptake. Today even Talleyrand might seem a naive. He had so little to cope with. I should like to become, if possible, a minor Atlantic Goethe, with his passion for weather and stones, but without his silliness wreathe across. At times a bore, but while knowing speech can at best, a shadow echoing the silent light, bear witness to the truth it is not, he wished it were, as the francophile gaggle of pure songsters are too vain to. We are not musicians. To stink of poetry is unbecoming, and never to be dull shows a lack of taste. Even a limerick ought to be something a man of honour, awaiting death from cancer or a firing squad, could read without contempt. At that frontier, I wouldn't dare speak to anyone in either a prophet's bellow or a diplomat's whisper. Seeing you know our mystery from the inside, and therefore how much in our lonely dens we need the companionship of our good dead, to give us comfort on dowry days when the self is a nonentity dumped on a mound of nothing, to break the spell of our self-enchantment when lip-smacking imps of Mork and Hooey write with us what they will. You won't think me imposing if I ask you to stay at my elbow until cocktail time. Dear Shade, for your elegy, I should have been able to manage something more like you than this egocentric monologue, but accept it for friendship's sake.